Have you ever been for an interview and thought you had the job in the bag till you were pipped at the post? Or been overlooked for a promotion that you were clearly the best person for? Or have you looked at your boss and thought, I could do that job better than you? Well, in this video, I'll talk you through 6 ways in which quality-driven recruitment specialists can help you advance your career development and ensure that you're not the one left thinking, what if? Hi, it's Emily Gregson here at Signature Career Management, where we help FMCG sales and marketing professionals maximise their career potential. If you're new to us, make sure you click on the logo and follow our company page for up-to-date market insight, career advice, recruitment tips and general all-round good content. So let's get started. Right place, right time. It's not what you know, it's who you know. They always land on their feet. There's plenty of cliches people use to explain how some people manage to further their career while those around them are left waiting in the wings. But although it takes much more than luck to reach the heady heights of the C-suite, you can't rely solely on hard work and endeavour if you want to maximise the potential of your career. As a dedicated career manager, I thought I'd share my knowledge and experience and highlight 6 reasons how using a specialist recruitment partner can help you make decisions that will escalate your development, and also how you can avoid the pitfalls that have led to recruiters being voted the 7th least trusted professionals in a recent survey by CV Library. So here are my top tips. Quality-driven recruiters work with better businesses. Now, obviously, that theory isn't hard and fast, but as a general rule of thumb, it works. Quality-driven recruiters are all about detail, insight, in-depth understanding of roles, opportunities, cultures, behaviours, and they're matching people with like-minded businesses to propagate an environment that drives the success of both parties. Obviously, this approach is more labour intensive and so commands a premium price point. But if you look at it in broad terms, businesses that use quality-driven recruiters are looking to invest in identifying and attracting the best people to join their business and their teams, whereas those who adopt a cost-focused approach to recruitment are not so much. If you're thinking which type of business offers the best opportunity to develop your career, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. Quality-driven recruiters are relationship, not sales-led. Traditional sales-led transactional recruitment is very much a numbers game. It's about getting as many CVs over to a client as quickly as possible to have the better chance of placing a role and making a fee. The sales-led approach relies heavily on KPIs. If you make a certain number of calls and you send a certain number of job specs and CVs, you'll get X number of replies and Y number of applicants. And then if we fill Z percentage of roles we're working, then we'll get a bonus. If you've not made enough sales yet, make more calls and send more applicants. Unfortunately, it means that the motivation for the recruiter is to get you into a job to hit a target, not because it is the best move for your career. The relationship-led approach to recruitment relies on a far less pushy, more organic growth strategy. The idea being that if you really get to know both the candidates and the businesses in your sector, you'll be able to match people to roles and environments that suit their behaviours and attitudes, and this is what drives success for both parties. By taking this approach, you get more repeat business with clients, not just from providing better candidates, but also from the resultant growth that these candidates can deliver. Ultimately, their success relies upon your success, and that goes much deeper than a monthly bonus. You have better chance of success with your applications. The less is more approach definitely rings true for job applications. Cost-focused recruiters will often throw CVs around like confetti in an attempt to claim ownership of a candidate before their rivals and hoping something sticks so they can hit one of their beloved KPIs. But from a candidate point of view, this often leaves you being overlooked for jobs that you could have well been suited for and being pushed forward for jobs that you aren't. For example, what if an outdated version of your CV is sent over for a job without your knowledge? Forget the GDPR nightmare that this is risking for the recruiter and the client, but your most recent work history is usually your most relevant, and without it, you're undoubtedly hampered. A quality-driven recruiter will not just ensure your work history is complete and your CV is in good order, but they will write a profile summary about you that highlights key points where you are matched to the job brief so that it gives you a better chance of getting considered. Similarly, you may not be suitable for a role. For example, you work best within a structured environment, but you're being put forward for a role that provides a huge amount of autonomy. But your recruiter isn't aware of this, so they're just telling you whatever you want to hear to get you in front of them. If you're in multiple processes and some of them aren't suitable for you, it's distracting you from the ones that are. Further to that, Once you're in a process and interviewing, quality-driven recruiters will be better positioned to coach you through the process. So the detailed approach they take will mean they're likely to have more in-depth understanding of the process, the interview styles of the hiring managers, and even the preferential presentation styles. This isn't facilitating a false representation of you, but enabling you to display yourself in the best possible light. You will have a greater insight into the business and opportunity that you're considering. There's always a risk when you move from one job to another, but knowledge is power, and the more you know about the business you're considering, the better armed you'll be to make the right decision. It's difficult to get impartial advice on opportunities unless you happen to personally know someone who already works at the business you're considering. If the employer genuinely likes you, they might paint the business in a better light than is true, embellishing progression opportunity or paint over any cultural issues perhaps. Similarly, transactional recruiters will focus on the short-term wins and sell up the opportunity in the hope of making a placement stick. Even looking at reviews on Glassdoor and such like often focuses on the negatives. These sites can be a home of disgruntled ex-employees with an axe to grind. If you work with a quality-driven career manager to help you make informed decisions, firstly, you'll know that they'll have asked the questions and got the detail that matters. Secondly, you'll know they'll have been able to corroborate this with other people in their network who have a strong working relationship with them. And thirdly, you'll know they're in it for the long game and they won't place you in a role where ultimately you might fail. You'll get genuine advice and that can improve your career. The problem with cost-focused transactional recruiters is that ultimately it's all about the bottom line, and any time they spend chatting to you over the phone is eating into that. If you're wondering why you don't get any updates on roles, it's because your recruiter is too busy trying to get more roles on. Wondering why your CV is getting floated around for jobs that you don't know about? Because asking your authority will hinder the numbers they can get sent out. Wondering why you don't get any feedback after interviews? Because this eats into their time, and with lower fill rates and smaller fees, they need to work twice as many jobs to generate the revenue. Wonder why you get sent for jobs that you're not suitable for? Because it's a chance of a placement, and besides, they probably haven't had the time to understand the intricacies of the job to know if you're suitable in the first place. It's difficult to be too harsh on these recruiters. Ultimately, they work to the conditions of the client, and if the client is paying low fees or engaging multiple recruiters, they either need to work like that or miss out. But at the end of the day, it's not doing your career any favours, but you can choose whether you engage with recruiters like that. This harks back to my first point, and that is that good businesses generally want to work with good recruiters. And if you want a good career and good advice, you also need to work with a good recruiter. If an agency rings you saying, I have a job with X business paying Y salary, are you interested? Alarm bells should start ringing. Even if they offer to email you over a job spec, that approach doesn't demonstrate the importance that a career move commands. Would you seriously make a decision about a career move based on a 200-word email? A good consultant will have open lines of communication and an in-depth understanding of an opportunity before they try to present it to you. They can give you genuine advice on how your salary stacks up compared to the wider market, whether moves are right for your progression and offer the opportunity that you need, where there are skill gaps in the market and the direction you can take to increase your value. And on the flip side, if you go for jobs and you aren't successful, they'll seek out constructive criticism so that you can learn and develop to improve your chances of success next time round. They are, in effect, your ears on the ground, the bridge between you and the wider market, giving you the access and information that enables you to make good career decisions. They'll help you build your future teams. And finally, good recruiters are a gift that just keep on giving because they will help you on both sides of the fence. Finding a good recruiter is like finding a good mechanic. Once you find one you trust, you'll often stick with them for life. And the added advantage of finding and partnering with a good recruiter that helps you further your career, when you start building your own teams, you'll have someone on hand who you trust implicitly because you've seen exactly how they work and how they'll represent you, and you can use them to help you develop your own team. The beauty of relationship-led recruitment is that it's all about the long game, long-term sustainable growth as opposed to disjointed quick wins. If long-term sustainable growth is the path you want to take, For you, as well as your team, a quality-driven recruiter is the support you should seek out. So that's my list of 6 ways a quality-driven recruiter can give you the support needed to maximise your career potential. Share your thoughts in the comments below, make sure you follow our company page and look out for our next series of videos where we discuss the implications of going the other way and discuss the hidden costs of low-cost recruitment campaigns that can jeopardise long-term success.